Hi, welcome to Auntie Nat's Crochet. Today I'm gonna make pumpkin with hat, with this style hat, with the witch hat. Since Halloween is around the corner and my pumpkin will be kind of colorful, I'm gonna have this yellow pumpkin, a bit whitish or skin color pumpkin, and I'm gonna have green pumpkin. You can make it colorful since it's Halloween. You not necessarily have to follow the pumpkin color. If you want, you can. And for the safety eyes, some you can use safety eyes. I plan to not have safety eyes for all the pumpkin. Some I'm going to just sew across here. Or you can Google it to see what sort of eyes you can sew for Halloween. Okay, for this pumpkin, today I'm using cotton yarn and a 2.5 mm hook. So cotton yarn, I'm using 5-ply yarn. It's up to you. You can use 3-ply yarn as well. It so happen I have a few 5-ply yarn. You do not need much because this is going to be a very small pumpkin. See the size, it's quite small. Okay. So today, this particular video is only about the pumpkin. As for the witch hat, I have made another video and I'll share the description. I'll share the video in the description box below. Okay. In fact, I have a collection of Halloween crochet. You can check it out. And after this, in another video, I'm gonna make a pumpkin basket and I'm gonna assemble all the Halloween crochet stuff into that basket. So now for this pumpkin, I'm gonna chain 17. I'm so used to magic ring. Sorry, pardon me. So you need stuffing, magic eyes, safety eyes and safety nose is up to you, optional. And just cotton yarn. Okay, now I'm gonna chain 17. Okay, I've chained 17. This is actually the height of the pumpkin because later we're gonna seal the bottom here, so it's kind of pull. We're gonna join it at the bottom, so this is the height. Okay, chain 17. Then after chain 17, we turn over. We're gonna work on the bum. We're gonna do single crochet, which is second stitch from the hook. We're gonna do single crochet. So since just now we started off with chain 17, and now start from the second stitch from the hook. So all in, you're gonna get 16 stitches all around. So if you want your pumpkin to be bigger, you can chain 25, 28. I mean, this is the height of your pumpkin. As for the length, later I'll show you. So this is just the height, yeah. So if you want your pumpkin to grow taller, then you do more foundation chain. So now mine is just chain 17. So I'll make sure every row I'm gonna have 16 stitches. We work on the bum. For beginners, if you notice, once you crochet, you turn it over, you can see there's a bum on top here. One strand on the left, one strand on the right, and there's one in the middle, and that's the one we're gonna use. It's just single crochet until the end. and you make sure every row you're going to have the same number of stitches. Okay, once you reach the end, oops, I have one more. Once you reach the end, the tail here you can just leave it because we're going to hide it inside the pumpkin. So once you reach the end, you chain one and turn your work, and we only work on the back loop. This is your chain one, skip that, go to the one which is linked to the foundation chain, and we only work on the back loop. Same thing, you do single crochet. So now all the rows you're going to do single crochet only on the back loop. And for this pumpkin, for this tiny pumpkin, I need 34 rows. So if your height is longer, then maybe you need more rows for a bigger pumpkin. So this one is 34 rows. So you do it on the back stitch, and once you reach the end, you do the same. Just chain one, turn your work, and continue to work on the back stitch. Okay, so once I'm at the end, you make sure here you do not skip one. Okay, the last row, the last stitch, you chain one, turn your work, and again work on the back loop. Single crochet on the back loop. So after you did 34 rows, you're gonna get something like this. Okay, in case you didn't catch what is the back loop, because we crochet on the back loop only, single crochet, that's why it comes out like this. So back loop, just rephrase, is when you single crochet, you see the V shape here. Normally when we crochet we use both. Now for this particular project we only use the back loop. So all your single crochet you do it this way. And then once you reach the end, you chain one, you turn your work. That's why you can get this kind of bump. Okay, so here I have 34 rows. I only need 34 rows. I'm gonna leave a long tail for sewing. We're gonna join this, because since this is here, I'll leave it inside. So I'm gonna join here. Just go stitch by stitch. and later you come out like this, where you will not notice where you join. Or there's another way. You can actually sew it this way, means it's a crisscross thing. Your yarn will look like this and you turn it inside out, so it's up to you, but I do not want to turn, so I'll just sew it this way. This way it kind of look invisible. Again, I reached the end of the line. You see, it's invisible. You cannot even know where I stitch which part, but actually it's here, this row. Okay, once we reach the bottom, we're gonna make this join together. So we're gonna crisscross here. We're gonna crisscross here, and later on we're gonna pull, just like how we seal those magic ring. I mean amigurumi, when we seal the hole for our stuffed toys. Just go in and out. Okay, this is the end, and I pull. Once you pull, you get something like this. Use the needle to sew through some of it so that it really stay on. Later you will see which side you prefer to be the base and which side you want to cover with the hat. In case you find that there's one part that you didn't stitch properly, or you don't find it that not nicely done, you can cover it with a hat. But the part that you think is nice, we'll leave that as the base. So this is how it's gonna look like. You pull more so that this hole will seal, because we're gonna add stuffing. So maybe I should do a few more stitches here, just in case. So you see, if you find that there's a tiny hole here and there, you can just give it another stitch just to cover it up. Okay, I need to cover this hole here. It looks like a hole, a tiny hole. Okay, now that looks better. So this is how mine look like at the bottom here. Okay, So once you have this, you're satisfied. There's no hole. It looks nice. Let's add some stuffing. Nothing too much. Okay. Add some stuffing. And this one, you make sure you're satisfied. And you bring your needle to the top here. And we're going to do the same. We're going to seal here like just now. And later you decide which side did you seal properly. If there's one side you think that you did not seal nicely, it doesn't look nice, cover it with a hat. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do, because I'm gonna have a collection of Halloween stuff in there. And besides that, I do have other videos too on bags and amigurumi. So later, before you pull your yarn tight, you just check and see if you need more stuffing. I think so far this is the easiest amigurumi. Don't you think so? Okay, so I'm gonna pull this. Then you make sure you have enough stuffing. If not, this is the time to add more, because now you're gonna seal it. You're gonna pull this and seal everybody inside. Seal all the stuffing inside. I think this is pretty nice. So maybe here I will cover with the hat. So in case if I'm gonna cover this side with the hat, I might as well, you do not have to sew it that nicely. So I think this side is pretty nice. So this one, I just make sure I do a few stitches here and there. It might not seal as nicely as just now, but I have a hat to cover up. Or if you do not plan to have the hat, you can seal it nicely. I'm just doing a crisscross thing, no fixed rule. I just want to cover it up so that the stuffing will not fall off. And I'm gonna hide all this with a hat. Okay, so if you do not have a hat, you better make sure your stitches here are nicely done. Like here, I find that this side is not that nice. This is nicer. So I'm gonna cover it this side. Okay, since I'm gonna cover with a hat, I'm not gonna bother too much about the stitches here. And now I just hide my yarn. Can hide it just about anywhere. Do a few crisscross here and there. Make sure you do not pull too tight. If not, it will be visible here. So this is how the pumpkin gonna look like. Oh yes, and if you plan to have safety eyes and safety nose, if you plan to put safety eyes and safety nose, you make sure you put before you seal it just now. So this one I do not plan to put safety eyes and safety nose. Okay, I'm gonna put the head here, and this is my nice part. Okay, I'm gonna put the head here. So this witch hat, I make sure I had a long tail for sewing. Up to you whether you want to tilt it one side. I'm gonna sew it inside here because this hat will curl up a bit. Okay, I'll come back to you once I've attached the hat and make the eyes and the mouth. Okay, I've attached the hat. Since the hat is grayish color, so I'm using the tail from the hat to make the eyes. Maybe the mouth too. I think it's enough. So I just make a cross here. Okay, here. Just a cross. Like this. You can just make a zigzag mouth. See? Something like this. Maybe one more stitch from here. And then you can hide your yarn onto the hat. Does that look scary enough? Okay, hide it here. Since this is the only dark color, do a few rounds at the hat. And cut it away. And there you have it. My Halloween pumpkin. I hope you like this pumpkin as much as I do. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope to see you in my next video.